All right, Kevin. I'm excited to get this going. And I know that you have had a couple closings, a couple of them pretty small, and a couple of them learning experiences. Before we get too far, is it okay that I share this share your story in this interview with other people as well?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. So, tell me, did real estate sales and your coach, do you think it uh, lived up to the expectations you were looking for?
Yeah, I do think it did. Um, it's I wasn't really sure what to expect at first, but as far as walking through the steps of how to start off and especially creating a business, that was a good learning experience too. And I didn't know where to go from there, which that helped out. And uh, you were able to step me through the whole process of talking with property owners and getting uh, the the direct mail created and the list and that sort of thing, which I had no idea where to get started on that. So that was very helpful. And uh, and once I sent out the letters, I got calls pretty quick, and so I was really surprised at that.
Good. So, how important do you believe that the leads that you got from us is to your success?
Oh, I think it's definitely very important. I don't know uh, exactly where else would have started if I hadn't had those lists and sent them out to the people and started getting calls. Just from being in it for a while now and just kind of learning the ropes and everything, I don't know if I would have been able to find those leads on my own and been able to get those calls in.
So, I've done this for a long time, and a lot of people say, "Well, I don't know why you need a mentor to get going, or to even do this." And I will tell you that if I would have got started by myself, which I've done a lot on my own, but I would never have gotten to the position that I'm in without a mentor. Do you feel the same way?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think mentor has been very helpful as far as you know telling me who I need to talk to, title companies, who I need to get involved in as far as deals and how to talk to the property owner and where to go as far as what I should offer the property owner. I think it's been definitely been a good thing to have a mentor and be able to go back to somebody for questions that I have and someone has been through it and knows the what needs to be done at certain situations, that sort of thing.
So, do you think that the mentorship, and it's hard. I'm your mentor, but I also know that having a mentor that is doing exactly what you're doing every single day is important. Do you feel the same way? Do you believe it's very
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I definitely do. I think since you've been through it, you know the mistakes that you've gone through, and definitely helps to hear what you've done and try to keep me from doing the same type of mistakes.
Yeah, I believe you should learn from other people's mistakes so you don't have to make them on your own.
Right.
So, do you feel like I know when we got started, we went through a welcome call and we gave you a lot of information there up front. Do you believe that from start to finish, you've had the tools that you've needed at your fingertips?
Oh yeah, I definitely do. Through from the very beginning, going through walking through calls, simulated calls, and what kind of things I might experience from talking to a motivated seller and trying to uh, go back and forth between each other as far as what questions to ask and that sort of thing. It's been very helpful.
So if you if you were going to start again with real estate sales, do you think you would have started at the same level you did, or do you?
Yeah, I think so. I, I definitely think I would have done the exact same thing as I've done before. So.
Okay. All right. So with what? So you started. I didn't look. How long? How long have you been with me?
I signed up the beginning of November, and we went through the steps and the video training and stuff through November and getting my business set up. And I believe I started doing the direct mail like the beginning of December, or it may have been close to the end of November, because I got my first contract. I think it was right at the end of November, 1st of December.
Okay. Okay. And how long do you think it? If you were going to put it in perspective, how long do you think it would? That you would say it took you to get used to the process?
Um, I would say at least a good 2 months. And I say that because, I having to do a full-time job as well and deal with family and kids and that sort of thing. I think as far as that, probably a good 2 months. It could have been probably shorter than that if I didn't have a full-time job. But
Right. Right. So, yeah, that process is pretty laid out. It's just a matter of practicing it, right?
mhm.
And asking questions and all that, right?
Yep. And um, asking the questions, getting the, I guess, the first deal under, and knowing who to talk to, what uh, title companies to use, and getting buyers set up and that sort of thing. It's once you get all that done, it starts kind of flowing and starts doing more networking with buyers, and learning more about what they're wanting, and hearing more about the area. I'm starting to get more and more into that, and that's definitely getting helpful to me, and it's making me more confident as far as talking to the motivated sellers, and coming up with the offer for them that I can know I feel pretty good that I can find a buyer for.
Yeah, and those relationships with those buyers too are pretty amazing too, aren't they?
Yeah. I've last couple of weeks I've had some pretty good talks with buyers, and they've uh, been pretty helpful as far as talking with me, and answering questions, and helping out and what they can, and kind of steering me in the direction of different locations that they like buying, and what kind of houses and stuff they like to buy.
Good, good.
I still I haven't done it yet, but I know that there's a Memphis investors group that meets once a month, and I'm planning on doing that. Hopefully, I'm not going to be able to do it this month, but get out to the next one, and meet buyers and stuff.
Yeah, again, it's about those relationships and getting out
Mhm.
there and meeting and rubbing shoulders with those investors. Um,
Yeah.
how long after you mailed your first batch of letters do you think you wrote your first contract? Just a couple weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't long at all. I know as soon as I mailed them out, I was getting calls within a few days, and first contract, I would say no more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know it was pretty quick. How confident were you on your first phone call?
I was very nervous, and uh, uh, even going through the training and that sort of thing. I'm the type of person that I don't like to I'm a quiet. I'm not one that goes out and does this sort of thing. So this is very different for me to do something like this. but the more I do it, the more I talk to people, it's gotten a lot easier and easier. But the first one was was pretty tough.
And we did some question and answer and kind of role play on step 3. Do you think that helped?
Yeah, I do think it did.
So how long did it take you to get used to making those phone calls, and then again the site visits and going and meeting with those motivated sellers?
Um, I still have some of my sometimes that I'll get nervous doing it, but I'm definitely feeling like I'm getting easier with it now that I've talked to buyers and find out what they want. And I think a lot of it was when I'm talking to the seller, I was more nervous about being able to actually find them a buyer. And now that I've kind of built my list up and I've talked to buyers, I feel more confident that I can get those properties under contract and find buyers for them.
And the more contracts you get, the more information, the more understanding you get of the process, don't you?
Right. Yeah. And like my first few visits on site, I didn't really understand or I was pretty nervous as far as going out there and meeting and wasn't really sure as far as what I needed to look at and what buyers were wanting to see. And after talking with them more, and they're saying they want to look at what how long the roof has been, heating, AC, do they have central air, flooring, the structure, water heater, that big ticket items. And as I'm doing it more and more, I'm starting to remember looking at those things. At first, I was just like in there getting pictures, not really paying too much attention to the roof itself. But the more I've done them, or more I'm doing them, I definitely have gotten that down better.
Good, good, good. Um, so when you started getting calls from the motivated sellers, how do you think your experience was in working with them? I mean, was it pretty positive in most cases?
Yeah, yeah, I've had some pretty positive talks and conversations with motivated sellers. I haven't really, I don't that I can recall any that have been negative or anything like that. I hear I've been on some of these groups and stuff, and I hear some people saying that they've been cussed out or yelled at when they give them an offer, but I don't. And it may be because I just haven't given them a low ball offer than like some of these have, but I haven't run into anything negative yet.
So talk to me about the option contract. Did you get much opposition? People saying they wouldn't sign it or anything, and with the motivated seller.
Um, Not too often. The only I have had, a couple where uh, there's in there where it says, they can't uh, go off and sell with another buyer since we had the contract, and I've on those. I think I've had two that were like that, and uh, I've modified it to where that I've tried to be open with them and I've modified it to where it just said, if they did find a buyer, then that's fine with me, but haven't had an issue where they have done that. So that's the only thing. And there's another thing in there about insurance, which I've run across several that say that they don't have insurance. So I'll just put on there that it says that they don't have insurance, but other than the contract, anything else in there, I haven't had any issues. And it's pretty straightforward. It's easy to understand. I haven't had any issues as far as the consideration fee, the amount or anything like that. And once you explain to them that gives you equitable interest in it, then there's don't have any issues with that at all.
So
Which I thought that might have been an issue at first when we first started doing it, but it hasn't been a problem.
amazing. And that, so how much do you normally put on your contract for that consideration or that deposit?
When I first started doing it, I was doing 20, but I've knocked that down to 10. So so I haven't had any problems with that either.
Good, good. Um, so when you use those, and this is a silly question coming from the fact that you use them every day, when you use an option contract, have you ever had to borrow money from the bank or private money lenders or anything like that on those contracts, on those option
Oh no,
contracts?
no.
Neat system, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you you've sold a few properties. How long after how long after you wrote your first deal did you sell your first property? So
um,
back to actually selling it.
yeah. Let me think. I think the first one I sold, I think I had signed the option of purchase in the middle of December, and I believe we ended up selling it in middle of February, end of February. And I think I probably could have got it done quicker, but I was still learning the price points and stuff as far as that, and I think I just had it up too high. And once I started lowering it, I started getting a lot more interest in it, and once I did that, it was pretty quick.
And you've had 3 or 4 sales.
It's 3.
Right. And where did you find your cash buyers? I love it.
From Craigslist.
Craigslist marketing.
Yep.
Yeah.
hmm
Did you use when you were selling the property? Did you use our contract, the purchase agreement?
Let's see. Yeah, on the first one, I used the purchase agreement. On the other 2, I just used the assignment contract and use that to give to the buyer.
Did your
So the first one was a double close, and that was mainly because it was a family and he wasn't really an investor, so I wanted to go through that double close just to
right
to
through it, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And that was a good learning process as well, to do both types.
Right. So, the first one you said you were working with a family. Did you sign the? Has any of the cash buyers had any issues with uh, the purchase agreement?
No.
No. Okay. Cool. So again, I'm your coach, and I'm proud of where you're at and the progress that you've made. Do you believe? And I say that not to set you up, but do you believe that through the entire process in the training, did you get the questions answered and the direction that you needed from the training and from the coach? So it was pretty painless, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it definitely was, and you've been able to answer any questions I have. Anytime I needed anything, you've responded with what I needed and with the answers I was looking for, and pretty quickly. So it's been a good process.
Good. Well, I got a few more questions here. We tell potential clients that Real Estate Sales LLC provides a turnkey business model for anyone who wants to learn how to invest in real estate. Do you agree?
Yes, definitely.
And when when again did you say you started? Beginning of November, middle of November.
Yes, it was. Started talking with y'all at the beginning of November. I think we signed the agreements and all that with you the beginning of November.
Right. And I've been your coach and mentor has been available to you from start to finish, right? Pretty much anytime you call.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yes.
Yep. Did you invest in real estate before you started with us?
No, I hadn't. I've
No.
always been interested in it and wanting to learn more about it. And me and my wife, we have a rental home, but it was really because she lived in it when we got married, and when we got married, she moved out. We kept it as a rental, so we've had it for 6 years. So that's about the only kind of real estate investing that we have.
Right. And what do you do for your full time career?
I'm a system admin, so work at a company that develops software for credit unions, and I'm one of the guys that maintains and their servers, make sure they're backed up, virus protection, do SQL database sort of thing. So pretty much anything to do with our servers.
So nothing even close to real estate.
No,
How many hours a week do you think you work on this, the real estate?
um, I would say there at the beginning, it was definitely a good 10 hours a week. And I would say I'd be still pretty close to that because with family and stuff, I try to do a lot of it on the weekend when I can, and the amount of calls that I get and contacts and with buyers and stuff. So I'm still probably around that. I know that I I could probably put in more than that. It's just the working full time and that um, trying to work all that in. I could definitely probably put more time in just to keep the spreadsheet updated, my calls logged, and all that sort of thing.
Right.
And I feel like if I didn't have the full time job, it could definitely keep me busy.
Right. That's good. So,
Yeah.
anybody would say that if you will recommend a company to a friend or family member that we're doing something right, would you recommend a friend or family member to real estate sales?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cool. So, last couple questions. Tell me a little bit about your experience. Do you believe that anybody could do this?
Oh yeah, I definitely do. Like you said, I've never really done any real estate investing myself, um, and the personality and everything that I am, as far as I'm not one of those that likes to talk to people on the phone a whole lot and that sort of thing. It's definitely something I think pretty much anybody could do.
So, what do you think out of all of what you do in the real estate part is probably the most difficult or the hardest part?
Uh, I would say I guess there there at the beginning, just getting the networking going, the finding the buyers, which is the most important part. The getting the calls and talking to the sellers and that is pretty easy. Here at the beginning, it was just trying to get your buyers list together and trying to find out what kind of things buyers are looking for. Um, I would say that's pretty much been a difficult part.
What do you think's the most enjoyable?
Oh, definitely being able to solve the problem for the seller, being able to get rid of that property for them and make money on that, and making money for the seller and the buyer.
Right.
It feels good to be able to do that for the seller.
It's a matter of the chase and the hunt, right?
Yep.
Well, Kevin, just to wrap this up, man, I really enjoy it. I love talking to you every week on our weekly call. There's always something good going on. So let me ask you, is there anything you would want to tell somebody thinking about investing in real estate, especially deciding to work with us?
Yeah, I think anybody that's out there interested in trying to do something like this, that working with y'all's been really enjoyable. The people that I've talked to, you and Jason, at the beginning, everybody's been really helpful and um, have taught me a whole lot about real estate. And I think that anybody interested in doing it should definitely try to get out there. You can once you get started and you get your first deal, you can definitely see that this can happen over and over and over.
Right, right. Well, Kevin, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. If I could get you to do me a favor and send me a picture of you and your wife, the one that you're most proud of, uh,
Okay.
email to me with that picture, that would be absolutely awesome.